With how insane America and the world have been getting since Trump's nomination, there's been a lot of conversation, at least on my stream, about how we get back from this. How did we get here? Well, through the right-wing media domination of the entire alternative mediascape, which has quickly grown to become the American people's #1 source of entertainment and information. They're all getting it through a right-wing conservative lens, through a pro-Trump lens, through a the left is bad lens, and so the vibes leaned heavily in favor of Trump. The lies, the narratives, the talking points, they all leaned heavily in favor of Donald Trump. And the normies, the moderates, they fell for that shit. They fell for it again. And I've been saying for a while now that realistically, when you consider that Donald Trump, but also Joe Rogan is the most listened to person in America, period. And before that, I think it was literally Tucker Carlson. When you consider these things, it becomes clear how much the left, or I guess progressives, Democrats, liberals, whatever descriptor you want to use, just not pro-Trump, not pro whatever the fuck Trump stands for, need to exist to a similar capacity, size, and reach as what the right has. We need to grow platforms. We need to reach out to people. And I've obviously encouraged you guys to support me for obviously the reason of what I just expressed. I want to be one of those people that can counter the right wing's domination of the internet. But on top of that, I've encouraged you guys to support other content creators on the left. And I've talked about how I want to find good content creators who I think they really have what it takes to be the left's Joe Rogan, quote unquote. The kind of people who I think, if there are any of you who watch me that don't know about these creators, I fully endorse you to go watch them. And I want you to go send them support. You will probably very much thank me for showing you these creators. And so I thought today would be a good day to start on that sort of streak of bringing attention to up-and-coming progressive content creators that are no doubt, I mean, I don't think they need the shout-outs necessarily, but I want to give them anyway because it helps. And every little bit, when you're this fucked, when we are this fucked as we are now, every little drop in the bucket that helps to get us out of where we are now is worth it. And so, if I can send any support over to other progressive content creators to help build a general air of success around online progressive news and media entertainment content, then that is a win for me. And that's why I want to introduce you guys to a great content creator I've been watching a lot of lately, named Rashad Crenshaw. He actually used to be pretty conservative years and years ago, and fell out of it due to just how insane and crazy the right is. Here's his channel, and I'm going to go ahead and drop a link to it in both chats right now, and it'll also be in the description of this video. I want you guys to go send some support, go subscribe, go watch some of his videos if you have not before, because I will guarantee you'll like them. And to prove that, we're going to be watching one of his more recent ones, since I think he did a really good breakdown of a conversation I also wanted to have anyway, and I figure this reaction slash shout out might be a really good way to kind of hit two birds with one stone. To shout out another content creator on the left that I think deserves way more attention, while also talking about a really important, geopolitical issue with Trump that is very much relevant and needs to be talked about. So let's hit those two birds with one stone, shall we? Vice President Trump, because Elon is the real president, fails basic geography on his first day. So yes, this video is a few days old, but the topic, very much worth discussing.
So on day one of being president, unfortunately, once again, Donald Trump fails the most basic of geography questions and knowledge available to a president. Donald Trump is asked about NATO nations who aren't contributing 2% of their GDP toward defense. Donald Trump begins to talk about how Spain isn't contributing enough. Then he begins to refer to Spain as a BRICS nation. I you not. Watch.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. What I love about that, okay, is that Trump was asked, and the lead-in was EU nations. And he responded with, this country is a BRICS nation and is not paying into it enough. So Trump doesn't know that BRICS and the EU are at odds with each other in terms of the world of trade, nor does he know that those are mutually exclusive groups to be a part of. And he thinks Spain is a BRICS country, of course. One of our closest trade partners in the EU, Spain, is a BRICS country. Now knowing how fucking retarded Trump is now on this issue, watch how confident, stupid, and wrong Trump is in this clip. And I mean emphasis on the confidence, okay? This clip is peak Donald Trump stupidity. Watch.
As a BRICS nation, I you not. Watch.
Thank you, sir.
What can we
Me too.
expect of
I said
the
that too.
countries in NATO that spend the least amount of money, like Spain, France, below the 5%?
Spain is very low. And yet, are they a BRICS nation?
What?
They're a BRICS nation, Spain. You know what a BRICS?
He asked, are they a BRICS nation? The reporter asks, what? And I think Trump thought, oh, this reporter doesn't know what BRICS is and won't call me on this, and proceeds to say it is a BRICS nation, from asking if it is to stating that it is in a heartbeat. Now continue.
Nation?
What?
They're a BRICS nation, Spain. You know what a BRICS nation is? You'll figure it out. But, and if the BRICS nations want to do that, that's okay, but we're going to put at least a 100% tariff on the business they do with the United States.
Now,
he's so ignorant. He starts by asking if Spain is a BRICS nation, stating that Spain is a BRICS nation, and then asks the reporter if the reporter knew that Spain was a BRICS nation, proceeds to say, in such a way that sounds like a kid trying to pad the word count out on an essay that for a topic they don't understand, starts talking about how, yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with the countries that think they could do that. Just like being very unspecific with his wording, so it doesn't sound like he just doesn't know what he's saying and doesn't have anything to say. And then proceeds to say they're going to tariff these BRICS nations, which he believes Spain is one of, at a 100% rate. Because once again, Donald Trump still does not know that tariffs are not taxes on other countries, because that's not a thing. He like, either he doesn't know or he knows now and has been told a million times and refuses to accept it, or just doesn't care. The idea of tariffs, like, it gets people clapping like seals. Maybe he knows and is just going to continue saying it because he knows Americans are too stupid to know that what he is bragging about doing will destroy the economy. That could also be equally true.
BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. A simple Google search would enlighten Donald Trump and deliver him the knowledge he so clearly lacks. This dude can't even basic. Donald Trump doesn't know who's friend or foe, and we know this to be true because Donald Trump further ingratiates himself and our country with foe and further alienates us and himself from allies. MAGA doesn't know who's friend or foe. MAGA's concerned, well, who's white and who's Christian?
It's all about Russia. Like, they cucked themselves out to Russia. Have we not? Like, listen, my favorite example of, like, the most cucked America pro-Russia propaganda was Tucker Carlson going to that fucking grocery store and being like, oh my god, bro, they've got those little coin slots where you can unlock the shopping cart that you get in an Aldi. Those are in Aldi in California, by the way, like all over the fucking place. I've seen a million of those, but apparently it's this crazy Russia thing. Look how low the prices are. Because Americans can't conceptualize that other countries have lower average wages. So they see a country like Croatia, for instance, where they've got like $400 a month rent, and they're like, whoa, I want to live there, because they think they're going to still make like $65,000 to $90,000 a year at USD while living in a place where the average rent is $400 a month, when in reality, the wages pretty much level out so that quality of life is about the same to be expected, you know? Like, there are tons of countries like this where there's like the Philippines is another good example. Holy shit, you can get like a $1,000 a month penthouse apartment in the Philippines? God damn, I wish I lived there. No, you don't. Because most people there live in the slums because there's no good work or pay. Americans can't conceptualize that. They find out that something in another country is just cheaper, and they think, well, I work hard, I make a good living, I'd be living it up if I lived in one of them countries, you know? And you get all these people who are like, I'd live like a king in Japan. I'd live like a king in the Philippines. I'd live like a king in these European countries. They don't know that unless they are still working for an American company receiving an American wage with American labor laws, they're not going to make their American wage that lets them trivialize the prices of things in other countries. Also, the Philippines leader is batshit crazy. Every leader of the Philippines for decades has been batshit crazy. They do, like, genocides and massacres.
That's where I want to be. That's where I want to go. They don't care about actual foreign policy. Genuine geopolitics be damned. Actually looking at the map, figuring out who's your ally, who's not based on who looks like you and believes in the same religion as you, but based on who's playing on your team and who's not. MAGA, that's a little bit too much work for them. That's a little bit too much to ask of them. Donald Trump, King MAGA himself, that's a little bit too much for him as well. He doesn't know.
It's important to remember, Donald Trump sets the bar low for everybody. Being stupid, ignorant, and lazy, being unwilling to research, fact check, or engage with reality. These are things that Donald Trump, being president, proves the bar is that low. They want the bar to be that low. So they can continue to live as ignorant dumb fucks and for that to be socially acceptable. If someone like them runs the country, how can they be embarrassing? How can they be like losers when two losers like them run the entire country? They've lowered the bar for everybody by showing that someone so pathetic and awful can be the president.
Oh, what a BRICS nation. He doesn't even know. Spain is literally an ally. They're a NATO member state. They are
one of our biggest trading partners.
EU. The fact that Donald Trump doesn't know this, what the fuck is, what is this? What is this? Day one, you can't even answer simple geographic questions. You can't even answer basic geography questions. Day one, you can't even.
That's why the pointed Iran on a map with no borders on it thing is so good for, if we're going to have a litmus test for presidents, not only is it, if you know the geography of the region, pretty easy to locate, but, it's you need to know where Iran is, okay? If you can't spot Iran from space, you have no business being fucking president, okay? That is probably one of the most overtly hostile to America right now, superpowers, quote unquote. I'd say Iran's a superpower, pretty much. It's bordering on superpower. They've got we had to get them to agree not to develop nuclear power and nuclear weapons, okay? They're pretty fucking powerful, all right? So if you can't spot Iran from space, you shouldn't be able to be president. Donald Trump cannot spot Iran from space, and it should be really easy because Iran is just a big fucking valley of mountains. Hey Zan, I want to get into leftist YouTubing, but I'm afraid that my content won't be professional or smart enough. How do I beat this anxiety and start doing it? Thank you for the $5, Mike Evans, and good advice that I will answer now because it's relevant to the topic of shouting out other lefty content creators and encouraging other people to start doing it too. You have to practice. When I started doing this, I have to admit I sucked. I wasn't good at debating. I don't think I knew all that much compared to what I know now. And my rhetoric was garbage. I wasn't a good speaker compared to how I am now. And I took a lot of hits just back for a long time back in the day for just not being great at YouTubing. People hated me before even my first dramas because I was just I didn't have a lot of money going into this, so I couldn't invest a lot in hardware. I didn't have a good camera. I didn't have a good mic. I didn't have good lighting. I didn't have experience. And so over time, I've had to learn all these things as I go. and time and just doing it has granted me that experience that's made me better at it. And now I'm good enough at it that you're asking me for advice on how to, like, start. And my honest, best piece of advice to you is to just start. If you get criticized, you'll know to recognize, like, criticism that's, like, just meant to be rude and mean, and that which is meant to be, like, actually expressive of a real critique or problem with your content. And you can, like, act and iterate on it. But overall, you have to gain the experience to get good at this by doing it. You have to do it to get good at it. You'll never get good at it before you've done it. So that's kind of the issue, you know? Anyway, back to it.
Incomprehensible geography. Day one, you don't even know who friend or foe is. Too busy dick riding Putin, too busy spitting on Xi for you to realize and understand who your actual allies are. Donald Trump is so busy trying to justify autocracy, dictatorship, and the usurping of democracy that he forgot to know who friend and foe is. He doesn't even know. And MAGA is going to hop on the internet and scream and shout about how Spain apparently did something wrong. Spain's evil, Spain's the enemy, Spain did something incorrect, but Russia, they're our friends. Whether it's Russian bots or...
They'll always fall in line to back Trump. Trump's a cult leader. Ask any MAGA person you know in your life to name one thing they really don't like about Trump, and they oftentimes can't, which is not a good sign for their, like, level of critical thinking that they're operating on. Like, that is a good sign they're lost in the cult. If they can't even say there's one thing about Trump they don't like. And it's best to always follow that up after they say, you just love everything the Democrats do. They love to accuse the Dems and progressives of being what they are. They love to say, you just support anything the Dems do. You're just fully in favor of the Dems. You just support them no matter what they do. Ask them to name one thing they don't like about Trump. They will oftentimes either go silent or admit that they can't. I've seen it happen 100 times.
Actual MAGA supporters on Twitter, they will find a way to excuse not only Donald Trump's infinite ignorance, but also their own. And we, liberal Democrats, are expected to clean up a mess this massive. How do you even begin to clean this shit up? Let's say within our lifetimes, we're given the privilege of being able to clean up this mess within our lifetimes. The privilege. We're given the privilege of being able to clean up this mess within our lifetimes. Where do you even fucking begin? Where do you even...
I don't know. My answer to that is I don't know. Because, like, right now, all I can think is that Trump's plan is to have the oldest of the Supreme Court justices, like the Republican Supreme Court justices, step down so he can appoint 35 to 40-year-olds who can serve for another 40-plus years. The plan is for, like, literally the rest. If you're, like, in your 20s, there's a good chance there might be a Republican Trump-stacked Supreme Court for the rest of your lifetime. That is Trump's goal. A lifetime of hard, red-stacked Supreme Court. I don't know what can be done about that. People have suggested adding more seats, but that has some scary concerns. You wouldn't want more seats to be added, but this is, like, in the future. How do we recover from this when Trump's out of office? But, like, even once Trump's gone, if he is gone, there is damage that does not go away, that continues causing damage. Damage will continue to be done for decades and decades after Trump is gone. Please, Zan, I'm trying not to doom. Shush. No, listen, this is important stuff. We are not dooming, but we need to acknowledge these things, okay? We need to acknowledge how bad we let it get. We let the right dominate the narrative. We let them own reality and make it whatever they want it to be to the American people. They won the people over with their gaslighting and misinfo and their domination of entertainment and news media in the alternative online space. We failed to counter their misinfo. We failed to counter their plan. Their plan was always to own Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn and Jake Paul and Conor McGregor and fucking like all these dumb pieces of shit. Elon Musk to own X or Twitter. Mark Zuckerberg, they always were planning to own him so that they could exert their control through Meta. They always planned to own Google through YouTube's current CEO, who is a friend of Elon Musk's, by exerting their control through what can be seen, what politics are allowed on YouTube, which is about to become a lot less progressive, by the way. We failed, and we got ourselves into this mess. We have to claw our way out. Acknowledging how fucked we are is not dooming. If your tendency when acknowledging how fucked things are is to doom and give up, that's the problem. You need to be able to hear how much worse things are getting, and for that to make you motivated and angry. Because when conservatives, when MAGA over the last 4 to 8 to 12 years has heard that gay people are getting rights, that trans people are getting rights, that POC are getting rights, it's made them angry, but never hopeless. Angry, but never hopeless. MAGA has always been angry, but never hopeless. Name one time MAGA was hopeless, where they gave up, and they threw in the towel, and they said, I guess we fucking lost. I guess we took the L, and it's over. It's so... Never. Not even when they were certifying that Trump lost did they give up. They stormed the Capitol, did an insurrection. After that, cleared those people's names to the public so effectively that Trump then won, and now they have been all pardoned. Many of them made millionaires by conservative fundraising campaigns, and now they are making the media circuit as American heroes, from terrorists to American heroes. Because Trump and the MAGA Republicans owned the narrative. They swept Jan 6 under the rug, and now the majority of Americans think that J6 was a hoax.
And start with these people. First, you have to drain the swamp. You gotta clean all the stupid shit out of their brains. Clear it.
It's ironic because, yeah, we do, once Trump's gone, that's what we have to do, is actually drain the swamp, because Washington is about to be the swamp.
So you can actually put proper education, proper knowledge, proper understanding and comprehension of the world into their heads. Then you have to undo all the horrible legislation that they've done. Then you have to...
I really like Rashad Crenshaw for a lot of reasons. One, feels like a content creator that puts in, the work to keep up with what's going on and know what the fuck he's talking about, which is, I know that sounds like a really low bar, but right now, with, Hassan and Vosh being some of the biggest voices in the online left, we all know, Vosh has, a chronic inability to do research before debates. As good of a debater as he is, his biggest weakness, even when I liked him, was always, man, I hope he researched for this debate enough. And Hassan is allergic to reading the news beyond headlines or going beyond Twitter or TikTok for his news. And so, it feels really nice to see a creator that very clearly puts that effort in. He's also, with it, he's very clearly not falling for the bullshit and sees what is obviously in front of him and is calling it out how it is. Feels like a lot in common, between our commentary. If you like my stuff, you're probably going to like his stuff.
To convince them that not every single thing is the fault of the establishment or the deep state or the Jews. This is an impossible task. I can't imagine having to fix the United States after Donald Trump and friends are finished with it. That, to me, is an incomprehensible task that I wouldn't wish on anybody, frankly. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. We are entering into an era of ignorance, of destruction, of chaos, and of stupidity. The President of the United States doesn't even know basic friend from foe and is so determined to install autocracy, to destroy democracy, that he's more concerned with cozying up to dictators and autocrats than fostering healthy relationships with allies.
I mentioned this earlier, by the way. Trump gets along better with tyrants. Netanyahu, Putin, Kim Jong-un. He gets along with these guys better than any other world leaders. You've noticed that, right?
Nigga can't even answer a simple geographical question. Spain is not no BRICS country, stupid ass nigga.
The power I have no access to.
Hey, look, bro. I'm done with this. Like, bro, like what?
There are some things even I can't call Trump.
And we're supposed to we're supposed to pretend this is normal. We're supposed to pretend this is business as usual. This is not business as usual. We're clearly on a serious slope of decline as a nation.
This is I've only heard this term a few times before, like ever. So I don't think it's very common. But I've started using it a lot, and I hope you guys have started to use it a lot, but this is what they're doing. Sanity washing. Like, that is what they're doing. They take an insane thing that Trump is doing that is objectively fucking insane, and then they start sanity washing the fuck out of it. They start basically framing it like, you're being crazy, but it's not, he didn't mean it like that. You're being overzealous. Nah, he didn't mean it like that. Elon didn't actually Sieg Heil. I've heard sanity washing is ableist. I don't care. Like, a good example of this is Elon Musk Sieg Heiling, like, blatantly, like, so blatantly, and now, like, everybody, all the MAGA, a lot of the media even, is trying to claim that's not what he did, and it was just a my heart goes out to you movement, even though when Elon's done that in the past, he's done what everyone else does, where you make a heart, and then you do this. But people have tried to claim that it's just him being autistic, because autists totally just have involuntary Sieg Heils, I guess, that they do. They don't. But they've tried to say that it is ableist to call Elon Musk a Nazi for Sieg Heiling. This is sanity washing. Prime example of it. They will sanity wash everything they can. They will try to reframe, gaslight, and project. And of course, the projection comes about when they bring in the whataboutisms. When it's like, well, what about Biden? What about Biden? What about Kamala? What about Kamala? What about Hillary? What about Hillary? What about Obama? What about Obama? Remember all that? How often, once you've got them really pinned, really cornered, it always comes down to, what about insert Democrat who's not even in office, who's not even running, who's not even relevant, who might even have not even ran for 4+ years by that point, and they'll still be saying, what about insert Democrat?
Whatever. Clearly, nothing we say is ever going to convince MAGA that they're wrong. We are on a clear slope of decline as a country, and nothing I say, nothing you say will ever change these people's minds. They are on a determined course of destruction. They are 100% committed to crash out. So I say let them. Democrats, don't step in the way. Stop trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho. Stop constantly trying to undo every stupid idea that comes into the heads of Republicans. If Donald Trump...
Dude, I really hope the Dems don't, like, save Trump's ass. It has genuinely been the case for a while now that if Trump wanted to get the best case scenario out of all of this, he would do nothing the second he gets into office. Just coast off of 4 years of Biden's growing and healing economy and just let Biden's policy just do its thing. Just let Biden's policy save the American economy, reduce inflation, steady prices, and let Trump preside over another 4 years of Biden's healing economy, where instead of the media giving Biden or the sitting president a nonstop hard time for whatever to distract from the healing economy, they would actually let Trump have the podium at any point that he wanted to talk about, look at how good the economy's been since I taken office. Oh my, it's never grown like this before. Record numbers. Because remember, Biden presided over a record height in economic health for America. Like, it hit record numbers, like, of all time. And if those continued to rise without Trump fucking it up, Trump would have also presided over record high numbers for the economy's health. And he could have bragged about that and shown charts and been right about presiding over that had he just done nothing and coasted off of Biden, just like he coasted off of Obama for 3 years. But instead, he's nuking himself out the gate. And I do wonder, all he had to do was play golf. Literally, it's all he had to do was play golf for 4 years, and we would have been fucked because none of the bad things that we predicted would have happened. He would have just sat there saying retarded shit from time to time, played golf, and done nothing while presiding over a growing economy that Biden was responsible for, and we could have all seethed and coped over the fact that Biden's economic policy once again was used by a Republican to make it seem like they're the ones who know the economy and know how to make it healthy and good. Like that is absolutely the best case scenario for Trump, and he gave that up because he had to do the things he promised he'd do.
Trump and friends want to do something unbelievably stupid, stand back. The country has asked for this. Stop getting in the way. That's one thing I hate about the Democratic Party is, oh my God, MAGA and Trump have a horrible idea. Let's stop it. No. Don't stop them from doing it. Start trying to figure out how to convince the...
I do legitimately think, and I experience legitimate schadenfreude from like MAGA people learning their lesson. Like the immigrant Trump supporters or the Latino Trump supporters now panicking and in fear. It's like, I mean, you voted for Trump. Like, you're kind of a piece of shit, and I'm kind of happy to see you in, like if any Trump supporters out there are in fear or upset about what Trump is doing, good. This is kind of what I've wanted to see happen. Like, okay, Trump won. Let's see all the people who thought this would be good for them suffer the worst possible consequences. And we're going to point, and you guys can remember, I've said this for months, we're going to point and we're going to laugh. We're going to point and we're going to laugh.
American people, they were the ones who did it in the first place. Because, see, these people can do something horrible, then blame your punk ass. Even if you try to stop it. They will find a way to blame you. Stop trying to fucking stop them from... Yep. Really good point he just made. That calls back to a previous segment in the stream. Remember when we were covering the LA wildfires earlier and I talked about the rock and a hard place Trump put Gavin Newsom in? So Trump has created this fantasy, all right? This fantasy scenario where the idea is that water from the Pacific Northwest is being blocked from flowing down to the to Southern California and just California in general. When, mind you, water does not travel south because south is down. That's not something that happens. That's not how gravity works. Gravity pulls towards the center of the Earth's core, not down towards south. But Trump has repeatedly said that the water is being blocked from flowing down to California from the northern states in Canada because he thinks that's how water works, and that it's Gavin Newsom's fault that the land was dry and that fires were started. And Trump has set Gavin Newsom up in this situation where either he accepts that it was his fault that the fires are happening because supposedly he's blocking the water from coming into California, and that if he accepts responsibility and I guess apologizes or just lets himself take the blame for these fires so it makes the Dems look bad, then Trump will send federal aid to Californians suffering from these fires. If he refuses, though, then Trump will frame it as Gavin Newsom refusing to open the floodgates and turn the valve and let all the fresh, clean water into California. He just won't do it, folks. He just won't do it. So Gavin Newsom either falsely accepts the premise that he is at fault for these California fires, or he falsely accepts, or he denies that false premise and is stuck with the false premise that he refuses to allow aid to reach his people. Trump will either frame it as one of these things or both. That Gavin Newsom will not allow water into California, which is what he's already doing, and that is what's causing the problem. Or he'll claim that Gavin Newsom refused federal aid for his people. Regardless, Trump has gotten Gavin Newsom in the place where he wants him. A place where no matter what Gavin Newsom does, the American people will see him as responsible for the deaths and devastation of the people of California.
And despite the fact that all the experts and all the scientists and all the geologists, all that are coming out to say, no, there is no bill that Gavin Newsom could have signed that would have brought water down to California. There is no valve he could turn that would let water flow into LA. There is no downward stream of water that has been blocked off by dams. Despite that, Trump still says what he says. He gets the most attention, the most podium, the most microphones, and the most cameras, and he's the president. So people believe what he says. We're actually going to deal with the fact that now that he's president, a lot of people are going to believe what he says just because he's president now.
From doing what they're obviously going to end up doing anyways, and start trying to get the American people to see and recognize and understand who's the one doing it. Tall task for y'all for some reason. Tall task for the Democratic Party. For some reason, it's a tall task, but whatever. It is what it is. If you like the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. So on day one of being president, unfortunately, once again...
All right. That was a solid-ass video from Rashad Crenshaw. I really liked it. I watched this one on my own already a few days ago when it came out. I thought it was really good. And I thought, you know what? Since I'm going to be covering the Trump thinking Spain is part of BRICS thing anyway, why not watch this on stream and use it as an opportunity to shout out one of my favorite up-and-coming progressive content creators. I guarantee you, by the end of this year, he will have 100,000 subs. If he keeps uploading, I guarantee you he will have 100K subs by the end of the year. No doubt. And that is what I'm hoping for. Go send some support. Go leave a like. Go subscribe. And go leave a comment on Rashad's video. And if you liked my video by any chance, if you enjoyed this, I would also appreciate if you left a like and a comment. Whether you're watching live or after the fact when this goes up as its own video, every single like and comment really does help a lot. It forces YouTube in real time to push my content in the algorithm to more viewers, new and old alike. And of course, if you want to support me even more and see more stuff from me, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so that YouTube actually knows when I go live or upload a new video and tells you. Of course, if you want to see more from me on other platforms, you can follow my social medias linked down below in the description, and you can support me directly by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or you can support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or you can buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you have a good one, and I hope I see you again.